So we got a legal update. Now, this is John Solomon, and this guy, he's pretty good. He's really on top of this stuff with the Russiagate and the prosecutions of Director Comey and everybody else, Barack Obama, everybody that was engaged. And what he's saying is that, because again, they got the documentation, Director Comey, this was a director of the FBI, authorized people working for him to leak classified information, which again is a felony to the media because he hated Donald Trump, and you can't do that. You cannot release classified information to reporters because those reporters don't have the clearance. There are lots of people that are in jail that did this. There's guys that worked in the Navy and took their camera phone and were taking pictures of themselves in sensitive nuclear areas of subs, and they're in jail. But the director of the FBI can leak classified things to news reporters, but because the Democrats were running the country, they just looked the other way. And plus, obviously, during Trump's first term, he didn't really know what was going on. So let's hear what John has to say, because I guess he's saying that we're going to probably have some indictments before Christmas. I know everybody on the right's me like, it's like, you've been talking about this forever. It's like, let's actually see some fucking indictments. I don't know if they can get any indictments in Washington, D.C., because everybody leans left and they all got the I'm a good person delusion, and they don't prosecute anybody on their side. They just let them go, which is pretty crazy. That's why they couldn't prosecute anybody the first time around when what was his name, the inspector, the Russiagate guy. They were supposed to prosecute everybody. He tried to prosecute one person, and the jury just, even though the evidence was pretty obvious that he did it because they were all liberals, they let the guy out.
Two very important things. The two big stories we broke last week. The knowledge now that James Comey authorized a leak according to his own lawyer. He authorized a classified leak. And
that's a felony. You can't do that.
Own Democratic House Intelligence Committee staffer, he authorized a classified leak. Those two cases have a 10-year statute. They don't even require a conspiracy case to be made. So those are early ones for us to see. Are they going to do it? They just raided John Bolton's house. That's outside 5 years of these alleged offenses. Those also are signaling that maybe they're going to take on some of these classified leaks as a beginning strategy while they build a larger conspiracy case. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw our first charges in the fall if Pam Bondi says, but if we go to Christmas and there are no charges, I think all of our skepticism is going to be pretty high. Two very important big stories we broke last week.
Enough fucking talking about it. You can stop that. Oh, we got this, what was it, yesterday? Was it? The shooting that took place in I guess it was a Catholic church, Minneapolis. And so on this garbage human who is now thankfully no longer with us, he put Atta for Mohammed Atta. Mohammed Atta was one of the pilots that flew into the World Trade Center. And so if you go back to the other pictures, because he's got all kinds of stuff written on it. That's his pistol. And then there's some other ones that...
next page?
Yeah, next tweet.
Watch my
So this guy's just a nut. He's a total whack job. He's on, he's probably on all kinds of psychotropic drugs like all these dudes are. And so he's got all these captions written on his things. These are his magazines, his pistols, rifles. Somebody else did that. I think it was the other trans person that did the Catholic school in Tennessee, I think, the first one. And so this dude wrote a real long manifesto. He was clearly mentally disturbed. It makes you wonder, like, what was this guy's mother doing? Because his mother, I think, is a liberal, and she pushed all this trans stuff on her son. I guess he transitioned or was in the process of transitioning to a woman, supposedly. And so we know that they were vaping, because a lot of people online are saying that's cannabis. But the one thing that's all these, we always had weed. We didn't have this stuff happening. But what's changed in the last 40 years or so is all the psychotropic drugs that people are on that turn off your emotions and your empathy. So it's pretty clear every single mass shooter has been on some kind of psychotropic drugs. And that's the only thing that's changed because, again, since our founding, everybody's had guns. So this is his manifesto. Here's a drawing. Scroll down so we can see what he's doing. So this is his drawing of the church. Yeah. This guy's nuts. On to the next chunk. So this apparently, he had uploaded these videos to YouTube, and they were just sitting there. But in the past, many times,
Corrupt too now.
yeah, well, it's been taken down. But many times, what's happened in the past is that the FBI will go out and interview these guys, just like they did with the Tsarnaev brothers, the ones that Russian intelligence had said that they had, I forget where they traveled to, the ones that did the Boston Marathon bombing. They interviewed them, and the FBI guys just dropped the fucking ball. And apparently, this guy never been on law enforcement's radar, but it's like, how can the mother not know anything that's going on with her kid, who's clearly got mental health issues?
So one of the, sponsored by BlackRock was written on one of the mags.
Did it say that?
On one of
Sponsored by...
I've seen pictures of that.
And
Well-
so there was another word. It's kind of like inshallah.
Oh,
In Islam?
Mahala or something.
Yeah,
Inshallah.
something like that. And so the speculation is maybe he was because he's from Minneapolis.
No, I think
who knows? Maybe he's
No,
just
he
trolling.
literally was trolling. He did every group, everything.
So these
I
are
don't
his
think-
idols.
I don't think you could read too much into the insane rant. He was just so nutty out there. I don't think you could read into. I don't think it was.
I don't know. That's the first time I've seen anybody put Muhammad Atta's name on a pistol.
Yeah,
That they
I think he was just trying to get everything, just to have people speculate and stuff.
So this is I hope this is good news, because when you look at like George Soros and his wacky son, you know, I saw a video, or not a video, I read an interview about Alex Soros. That was Vanity Fair or one of those. It was a really long article on him. They spent the day with him. And it's pretty clear when you listen to Alex Soros talk, he was brainwashed by his Marxist professors in school. And he's a fucking woke idiot. And he believes what he believes. And so now his son is kind of taking over and is spending his father's billions basically to continue to get more of these soft on crime people elected. And that was the other thing that I noticed about the article. It was either maybe it was Rolling Stone. I can't remember. It was a couple months ago it came out. And that guy's just never going to give up on his ideology. He will completely ignore all the death and carnage that's created by the people that he helps get elected and keeps throwing back out onto the street. And so potentially, he says, Mrs. Trump says, George Soros and his wonderful radical left son should be charged with RICO violations. That's racketeering, because of their support of violent protests and much more all throughout the United States of America. We're not going to allow these lunatics to rip apart America anymore, never giving it so much as a chance to breathe and be free. Soros and his group of psychopaths have caused great damage to our country. That includes his crazy West Coast friends. Be careful, we're watching you. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So, because when you look at him and the other people in the World Economic Forum, what they're doing, because they get people elected, and then these NGOs funnel money back to them, and they basically fund these protests. So they're using our taxpayer dollars to basically burn down our cities and funnel money through their NGOs that basically pay people to go there and agitate and cause problems on the left. It's part of their color revolution, if you ever studied Marxist communist revolutions. But it's clear, again, from that article that Alex Soros was radicalized by his Marxist professors in his Ivy League schools that he went to, and they turned him into an activist, a communist Marxist activist. But you got to understand, he's not going to have to live under communism. He expects to be one of the elite that rules after the communists take over.